All right, guys, we're recording. Today is August 10th, 2015, Elevation Coaches Team Call. As you can see from your screen, we are talking about how to set goals that get achieved. A lot of us, we set goals all the time. We got all kinds of goals in our heads. And those goals oftentimes don't come to fruition. And there's a way that you can significantly increase the odds of you achieving your goals through a few steps, which we're going to be talking about tonight. So I'm going to hop right into our training so we can have some time to ask questions at the end. And if you've been struggling with anything during this week, whether it's a invite process or some kind of objection, or how to get your coaches motivated, whatever you're struggling with, be sure and write down your questions during the call so that we can get those answered at the end of our training on how to set goals that get achieved. So very first thing, if my screen works here, is what are goals? Goals are visions and dreams with work clothes on. Okay, we all have visions, we all have dreams of what we would like to achieve, but goals are the practical steps. This is sort of where the rubber meets the road. This is how your vision becomes a reality, is when you start setting goals that help you accomplish that vision. So for example, it would be, let's say I want to make, well, we're going to talk about this, but I want to make, $1,000 a week with Beachbody. Okay, that's a great vision, an awesome one, and I know you can achieve it. But you're going to have to set some goals that are practical in order to get you there. You're going to have to know how many new people you're going to talk to each day in order to sell a certain number of challenge packs each month. You know how many of your coaches you're going to have to help reach Success Club each month in order to get certain amount of volume points so that you can cycle bonus a certain amount of times. And once you go through those exercises and create those goals of what you want to do on a weekly basis and start making practical steps to accomplish your vision, that's when you're going to start to see traction with your goals, or with your vision, is when you start setting goals that help you accomplish that vision. So I love this quote by J.C. Penney. J.C. Penney is not just a retail store. That's an actual dude's name who started the store. J.C. Penney said, "Give me a stock clerk with a goal, and I will give you a man who will make history. Give me a man without a goal, and I will give you a stock clerk." This is important, guys. If you don't have goals, um, if your goals really aren't your drive, then you're really working toward nothing. You're not, if you don't have a greater vision of what you want your life to be about, or what you want your life to include, then you're really not working toward anything, and you're not going to achieve anything because you're not setting any benchmarkers for success. So if you have a goal, okay, me as a mentor, me as a coach, I can help you reach that goal. I can't help you reach something that you're not clear on. If you say, I want to become a full-time Beachbody coach, okay, what does that mean to you? And we're going to talk about what needs to be thought of and some 5 key ingredients to creating a realistic goal that can actually be achieved. We're going to talk about those 5 ingredients here in a bit, but you have to have those established if you want to get the best help from your mentors, and if you yourself want to have the most focus and be working toward the right things, and knowing you're working toward the right things that are going to get you there rather than just doing busy work. The process of setting goals. If you've already lost, I wrote this. This is just a thought I had in my head while I was making these slides. You've already lost if you think you don't need to do this step. If you don't think that you need to go through the process of setting very, very specific, measurable goals that are yours in a certain time frame, this is where you've already failed, and you will not succeed because you're not clear. You have no definitive purpose in what you're doing. You have no clear objective. Therefore, you can't measure what you're working towards. You can't even tell if you're succeeding. So if you think that you don't need to do this, if you think you don't need to set goals, very specific ones, then you've already lost. And I can't emphasize that enough. But the process of setting goals positively won't get you there. You can think positively and happy, warm, fuzzy thoughts that make you all cuddly and warm, even though you're not wearing blankets, okay? It can make you nice and cuddly and warm, but it's not going to get you to where you want to be. There's all this personal development out there. You can think about it all you want, and thinking positively does get you to a certain point. It'll help you have an attitude about how to reach your goals. It's not going to be the driving force behind your goals. Okay, and no matter how positive no matter how positive I think, no matter how many happy thoughts I think, no matter how hard I train, I got to be realistic. I'm never going to be able to play for the Seattle Seahawks NFL football team. It's never going to happen. I'm going to be 32 here in a few months, and there are guys that are 15 years younger than me who've been training for this, who are genetically far, far more capable of succeeding in the NFL than me. I know that no matter how hard I try, I will never succeed in the NFL. Okay, and no matter how much you flap your wings, you're not going to be able to grow feathers. Okay, this is a process you need to go through in setting goals. Your goals need to be realistic. This is what I'm trying to get at. Okay, you can't just say, I want to make $1 million. I want to make it right now. And it's going to happen. And I'm going to think about it all day, all night. I'm going to write down that I want to make $1 million. It's never going to happen, no matter how much you think about it, no matter how much you envision it, no matter how, you have to go through the process of setting a goal, the processes that we're going to be talking about, in order for that vision to actually manifest. So, where should your goals focus? This is from Dave Ramsey. This is awesome stuff. You got to think of your life like a wheel with spokes, okay? And when you're looking at your life and how you want your life to look, and really that's what Beachbody coaching is about. You want to create a lifestyle for yourself. And each one of these spokes right here, career, financial, spiritual, physical, intellectual, family, and social, you need to have goals in each one of these categories. And in some of these, you're already very, very talented. And in some of them, you're going to need a miracle. But you have to be intentional in each one of these areas. You think about how a wheel works and how spokes work. If you have a bank of spokes that's been broken on your wheel, that wheel is going to collapse. That rim is going to collapse. And it's the integrity of that wheel and the structure of that wheel is compromised. Okay? If you don't have balance on all those spokes of the wheel of your life, then you're going to have imbalance, and it's going to be difficult to get momentum. It's going to be difficult for you to move forward without generating resistance. So you have to have goals that are focused in each one of these areas: your career, financial, spiritual, physical, intellectual, your family, your social. For me, it's very, very easy for me to make money. I've always been a very, very hard worker, and I can go out there and I can generate cash flow, and I can do that because of that's just who I am. That's the attitude I have. That's how I was raised. You got to earn your way. That's how I was raised. Okay. But some of this stuff, my family, it's an area where I lack focus, and I need to get better, and I need to have more concrete focused goals on, what do I want my family to achieve? What kind of relationship do I want with my kids? What kind of relationship do I want with my wife? Okay, there needs to be balance there. There absolutely has to be balance, or you're going to create friction. You're not going to be able to get the kind of momentum you want with your coaching business if your life isn't in balance. Right. So now we're going to look at goals actually get achieved. Not just a vision, not just a dream. Remember, a goal is what puts the rubber to the road of your dream. It's the practical steps to manifest your vision. So there's 5 components. Okay, your goals have to be specific. Your goals must be measurable, and your goals must have a time limit. And your goals must be in writing, and they got to be your goals. Those are the 5 things. We're going to focus on each one of them real quick. My kids are going psycho upstairs. I don't know if you guys can hear that. But, all right, so your goals have to be specific and measurable. We're going to combine the first two components of setting goals that get achieved. Your goals cannot be vague. If you want to say, let's say, just think about the people you talk to that you invite to challenge groups. If your challenger responds to you and says, I want to lose weight and tone up, what's your response to that person? Okay, well, I would say, I want you to get specific. Why is it that you want to tone up? Why is it that you want to lose weight? How much weight do you want to lose? I want a very specific goal so that we can mark your progress. Okay, and some examples of some specific measurable goals I've written here on your screen. It says, I want to lose 30 pounds. That's very, very specific. That is something you can measure. Okay, I want a 4-inch smaller waist. Very, very specific. Very, very measurable. Each week you can grab a measuring tape and wrap it around your waist and see how much progress you're making. Okay, I want to make $1,000 a week. Very, very measurable. Each week you get a check from Beachbody on Thursday morning, or you get a deposit in your bank account on Thursday morning from Beachbody. Okay, your goal, that is a very, very measurable goal, and it's very specific. Or I want a degree in blank. I've been watching this TV show called Suits, where a kid, is a sort of a genius and cons his way into Harvard and gets anyway. He had a goal he went after. He got his degree in a sly way, but maybe you have a goal of getting a degree in something. Maybe you're working toward your master's and you want to be a teacher. Maybe you want to be an architect. I don't know. Maybe you want to be a personal trainer. You want a degree that's measurable. You have a set goal and you're working towards that. I got 10 credits left in school until I get my degree. Very measurable, very specific. Or I want 1 date night a week with my spouse. Very, very specific, very measurable. If you miss a week, you're not moving forward. Okay, that was my little conviction of, having family goals that are, keep my life in balance. All right, so your goals have to be specific and they have to be measurable. Your goals have to have a time limit. I can't stress this one enough. I get on Getting Started Right calls with coaches all the time, and we talk about, okay, where do you want to go with this coaching thing? And I get the response a lot of the time as, I want to be a full-time coach. Like, that is awesome, okay? When do you want to achieve that by? And a lot of the times I get a blank phone line. And because a lot of people don't really put thought into timelines, it's like, wow, I don't know. I don't even know what's possible. Okay, well, when do you want to be a full-time coach by? I want to make it happen as fast as possible for you because I know you want to spend more time with your family. I know you want to get out of debt. I want it to happen as fast as possible, but when do you want it to happen? 12 months, 24 months, 20 years? Okay, you got to set a time limit to it. Or I'm going back to that, I want to earn $1,000 a week. Okay, this is going to be a mix of setting a time limit to something and having specific and measurable goals. This is sort of where they meet the road. I know that if I want to earn $1,000 a week as a Team Beachbody coach, I have to be a diamond ranked coach so that I can earn $18 per cycle bonus. I want to maximize that, so I need to be a diamond coach. I need to get a minimum of Success Club 5 every single month. That's helping 3 people get started with a challenge pack. Every single one of you is capable of doing that. I recommend hitting Success Club 10 every single month. 500 volume points per week. That's personal volume points. That means you're selling, $500 wholesale worth of Beachbody products every single week. I get usually around 1,000 to 2,000 personal volume points every single week with Beachbody. You have to have at least 550 volume points. This is team volume points on your weak leg and 11,000 on your strong leg. And if you need any assistance on what weak leg, strong leg stuff is and how to cycle bonus, go on to YouTube and do a search for Team Beachbody Cycle Bonus, and you can find out what that's all about. And I know that if I want to earn $1,000 a week, okay, I'm going to have to achieve these things. And once I see what I have to achieve in order to earn $1,000 a week, I can say, okay, how quickly can I get myself the Diamond Coach? Okay, I know I can start signing up customers as discount coaches and get there very, very quickly. I know I can find 3 to 5 people per month that want to focus on the business side of it. I can probably get to Diamond Coach in 60 to 90 days. It's like, okay, can I get Success Club 10 this month? Absolutely. I'm going to find 5 people who I'm going to help get started with a challenge pack. I can do that this month. I can absolutely get 500 weekly volume points this week by, you know what, every Thursday, I'm going to send out an invite and tell people that I'm sending out free Shakeology samples. And then I'm going to tell those people they can get the on-demand challenge pack for cheaper than just getting Shakeology. Okay, I got a plan in place. I'm moving forward. And right now, I'm only getting about 1,000 points on my weak leg. So I got to get that up to, 4,500 more points. That means I got to help, those 4 coaches on my weak leg. I got to help them reach Success Club. How quickly can I do that? See, you can start to see how setting very, very specific and measurable goals for yourself can turn into, here's how much time it's going to take me. If I really put my nose to the grind wheel, maybe I can get it done in X amount of time. Maybe I can get it done in 6 months less time if I focus 3 hours a day on Beachbody instead of 1. So it must have a time limit, because that's going to tell you how intense your focus needs to be on your goal. All right, and your goals must be yours. Tell me if these goals work. My wife wants me to lose 30 pounds. I'm talking to a girl right now. She's like, Todd, how do I get my husband to commit to this? And her husband is a guy I went to school with in high school, hung out a lot with. And I was like, you're never going to get him to commit. It's got to be his decision. Okay, and then there's another one. My mom and dad want me to be a doctor. I don't want to be the patient of the guy or the gal whose parents wanted them to be a doctor. I want to be the patient of the doctor who actually wanted to be a doctor because I know that's where their heart is. All right. And if you don't own the goal, then you're not going to have the toughness. You're not going to have the perseverance to actually stick it out when things get tough, when things get difficult, when you get 50 no's in a single day to your invites to challenge group, which I've gotten over 100 no's in a single day. In fact, I just watched a video, amazing video, where this guy, his net worth is about $500 to $600 million right now. He failed his first 6 businesses. This is a software guy. I love listening to biographies of guys, or guys telling their own autobiographies, guys telling their stories of how they succeeded. He failed, went bankrupt in 7 businesses, 7 software businesses where he's trying to get started. He's borrowing money from parents, family members, friends. We're not just talking about small change. We're talking like 50 grand, 150 grand. He's in debt to a lot of people, and he's screwing with other people's money. And on his 8th business, he started up, it was a software for used car sales or car salesmen. Ended up, making some great money with that, making about $30,000 to $40,000 a month. He ended up selling the business on a short sale thing just because he lost passion for it, and he sold it for 60 grand. Kind of bummed around for a while. Had another idea, borrowed 150 grand from his friend. This is his 9th business, and it was like a one-on-one online betting software. And this was before regulations were super heavy on that in 2003. And he just went to the phone book. When regulations started to increase, he needed to raise $1.5 million in order to get this license to continue doing business. And he went to the phone book and just cold called every single business that had the word financial or capital or investment in it. And he went and set appointments with these people. And he made 360 appointments with people. And he went to these appointments. He would get rejected. He got rejected all 360 times. Okay, and his very last meeting, he went to this guy. And the reason I'm telling you guys this is about perseverance. It's about making sure your goals are yours so that you can persevere. He went into this business, he went into this guy, explains his business plan. The guy, and he had never made it past 15 minutes with the 359 other people that he had talked to. This guy was interested in the business, and he went on for 3 hours, and they were talking about his business plan, and he loved it. He was like, oh, well, why don't you tell me a little bit about your background? And he's like, well, I've failed in 7 other business ventures. I went bankrupt twice, and this is where I'm at now. And the guy just laughed at him and just started cussing him up and down one side and down the other, and saying, you're a loser, you're never going to go anywhere in life, and just completely belittled this guy. And he went home in tears because he had, what was it? He had 24 more hours to file to pay that $1.5 million for this license to keep his business going. He had 24 hours, and he had no idea what to do. No idea. Goes home, he's crying. He determines, you know what? I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back tomorrow, and I'm going to ask the guy for money. I'm just going to do it again. He goes back and asks the guy. He gets there at 6:30 in the morning. The receptionist isn't even there. The receptionist shows up at 7:30 in the morning. He's like, are you kidding me? What are you doing back here? Didn't you just get told off? And he's like, I don't really care. Just give me one more chance. I'd like to talk to him. So she sends him in. The guy looks at me. He's like, what the F are you doing here? Didn't I tell you to get lost? And the guy, he was about to go into his pitch about why the guy should give him his money. And he ended up just telling this guy off. He goes, screw you. You're going to be working for me someday. I'm going to be incredibly successful, and you're going to look at me and you're going to wish you got on board when I asked you to. And he stormed out of the office, and he was so angry. He had 3 hours left. He had 3 hours left to meet his deadline. No, I'm sorry. He had 6 hours because it took 3 hours in his next meeting. He walks across the hall to this other financial firm, knocks on the door, asks to speak to the financial lending guy or whoever was in charge of investments. And he walks in there. He just goes, I just wanted to tell you that your neighbor over there is a douche. That's all he did. He went over there to tell the guy that his neighbor in the office building was a jerk and called him all kinds of names. And the guy thought it was really funny. He's like, why don't you sit down? Tell me what you're doing. He's like, I'll just take 5 minutes of your time. Let me pitch you. You can see if you want to take part. And mind you, this guy had 6 hours left to file his $1.5 million licensing thing to keep his online gambling business open. So he's talking with this guy for 3 hours. The whole time he's watching the clock. He's like, oh my gosh. And the guy says, I love it. Let's do business. Hands him a check for $1.6 million. He runs down to the licensing office there in the UK, and he hands them a check. They're like, do you have any contract or anything? This seems kind of not legit. And he's like, no. Well, the guy just handed me a check. So he got it, and he ended up making $9 million his very first year as a result of that perseverance. 360 no's he went through, went across with 6 hours left, and said, your neighbor's a jerk. Do you want to hear what I have to say? And with that one appointment, he was given $1.6 million and made $9 million that year. If the goal is not yours, if the vision is not yours, you will not persevere. You will not put in the work. You will not do what it takes. You will give up. You will fail. Because you don't care about the end of the story if the goal isn't yours. You do not care about the end of the story, period. So the goal's got to be yours. All right. And your goals, the last one, your goals have got to be in writing. This is huge, guys. You can look at this. Look at this graphic I have here. People who wrote down their goals were 42% more likely to achieve them than the ones who didn't. And if you tell a friend about your goals, that rate increases to 78%. I want to ask you, who have you told your goals to lately? Have you? I encourage you guys, make a video and post it publicly, telling people what your goals are. And get serious. Dream big. You know what? I'm going to be A lot of you guys have seen what I'm doing with coaching. And I'm telling you right now on this video, you mark my words, in 18 months from now, as a coach, I'm going to be earning 6 figures a year, sharing my passion with people for health and fitness. And I'm going to be doing this full time, making my own hours, living the kind of life that I design, not someone else, not a life someone else designed for me. Tell it publicly, guys. Get it out there. Think about how much drive that's going to give you, knowing that people are going to be thinking about, man, remember when she said she was going to earn 6 figures in the next 18 months? Remember when she said she was going to lose 100 pounds? I wonder if she's actually going to do it. You're going to have an incredible drive, okay? And writing that down is just a part of that, because in your mind, it creates a reality for your mind. And when it's a reality in your mind, then your mind goes nuts trying to figure out how to make it an actual reality. Okay, and 90% of you guys on this call, you're gonna drop the ball and you're not gonna do this. You're not gonna write down your goals, because I didn't do it for a very long time until I got it, until I understood that is one of the key components to making my goals real, is physically writing it on a piece of paper. Don't type it out, write it out by hand. And I guarantee you it's going to become much more of a reality to you. It's going to become much more real in your mind. And just think, what if 90% of you didn't drop the ball? What if 90% of us carried that ball together? What could we achieve as a team? Because I had a thought at the beginning of this call. You know what? I think we can get 200 Success Club points as a team this month. What are you willing to pitch in to reach that 200 Success Club point goal? What could we do to celebrate reaching that goal as a team? What if 90% of us wrote down our goals and shared our goals with people? What if 100% of us on the team did that? We would be a force to be reckoned with. People would be looking at what we're doing and asking, what is Elevation Coaches doing? Their challenge groups are thriving. Their Success Club points are off the charts. They're signing up coaches left and right. Their coaches are rank advancing. I see posts constantly about people creating freedom. You know, they have more time to do what they want as a result of coaching. They're paying off debts. They have more time with their family. What if 90% of us carried that ball together? Okay? Seeing it, writing it down is just as important as believing it. Actually writing it down and seeing it is what's going to help you believe it. Look at that fact again, guys. 42% are more likely to reach their goals when they write them down. And then just telling someone about that is going to increase your odds to 78% of achieving that goal. It's phenomenal. I'm going to show you guys. I'm not just a jokester about this. This sheet right here, I don't know if you can see it. Today, I'm writing my goal out for the month 100 times. I'm on, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. I've written it 39 times so far. It says, I achieved Success Club 50 plus in August. Just a simple goal. I'm going to start writing my monthly goal 100 times per day. And I'm going to fill up these sheets, and I'm going to write it over and over and over and over and over again. And I know I'm going to do it, because it's going to be a reality in my mind. And that is where it all starts, guys. This writing it down is where it all starts. It's where it becomes reality. And if you combine that with the 4 other things we talked about, your goals being specific and measurable, about there being a time limit to your goals, about them being your goals and not someone else's, you guys are going to see huge, huge, huge progress as far as gaining traction toward your vision for what you want to achieve in your life, or as a coach, or as a father, or as a mother, or as an employee. So put these things into practice. Write down your goals. Make sure they're your goals. Set a time limit to your goals. Make sure they're very specific, and make sure that they are measurable. Make sure it's something you can go to each month and say, am I making progress towards this? All right. So hopefully that helped you guys out. Hopefully that gives you a new light on how to really get some traction toward your vision. That's what I want, because that's where I lacked for so long, guys, was I had a vision for what I wanted to achieve, but I never really had the discipline to sit down and write out, what I wanted to achieve and how I was going to achieve it. And I want to encourage you guys, help us create some momentum with a group. Let's carry that ball together. I don't want 90% of us to drop the ball here. I want us to carry the ball together. I want you guys to write down your goals, write down how you're going to achieve your goals, or do what I did. Write out your goal 100 times and post a picture of it in Elevation Coaches. I'm good. Once I finish this tonight, I'm just doing it in between messaging people, or, while the kids are in the bathtub, I'm going to write it 10 more times, write it out 100 times, post a picture of it in Elevation Coaches. Let's create some momentum and encouragement, for all of us to carry this together. You don't got to do this by yourself. This is a team, elevate others. Let's do it, guys. So I'm going to unmute everybody. If you got a lot of noise in the background, please mute yourselves. Or if you're hacking away on the keyboard and you got big old like monster fingers that make a lot of noise on the keyboard, mute yourself as well. So I'm going to unmute, and if you guys have any questions at all, I'd like to take this opportunity to answer you guys. So you're all unmuted.
This isn't a question, but could you go back in the slides on your PowerPoint to the specific and measurable slide, please?
There we go. That one?
I think it was, you had a short list. I think it was the one right before this one.
Oh, this one. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Time limit.
Must be specific, measurable, have a time limit. They got to be your goals, and they have to be in writing. Anna, I think a ghost just went through your drapes behind you. I just saw your drapes fly open.
Back and forth.
Oh.
All right. Any questions, guys?
Well, I guess I have a question. So I have a sort of all or nothing mentality sometimes with my nutrition, where sometimes, I drop the ball and then like it's crapola for who knows how long.
When you fail, you fail hard.
Just when I feel hard. And this past week, I just realized that I have that same horrifying thing in coaching, and with the coach business, which is really, really, really horrific. Which is amazing that I could admit that out loud, because it's really bad for me to, it's hard for me to, well, anyway. I had a really, really intense goal of making sure to get at least one Success Club point every day. And I did it at the very beginning of the month, and then as soon as I didn't hit it, I just totally just turned off. Yeah. And but yes, I'm ready to turn back on, but I guess every day that passed where I felt sort of like paralyzed, it got harder and harder to get back on. And I don't know, I had some sort of long heart-to-heart talk sort of with myself, like, okay, I need to get it together and just do this. And I had to write my why a million times, like how you just brought up. But I don't know where the question was in there.
I struggle with the same thing. There are days, actually this weekend, where I wanted to do absolutely nothing with my coaching business. I just wanted, I didn't want to do a single thing. I didn't want to check in with my challenge groups. I didn't want to check in with coach groups. I didn't want to do anything. And I know in the back of my mind that attitude is not going to get me to where I want to be. And for me, it's spiritually, I'll just use this analogy. Spiritually, when I stumble, where I know I have failed God, it's usually when when I stop reading my Bible. And I always wonder, like, you know, after I failed, I come back and I start reading again consistently. I was like, man, why didn't I just stay here? Why didn't I just stay in God's word? Why wasn't I consistent with this? Because I know it lifts me up every single time, helps me stay focused. Okay, and the Bible is to my spiritual life. The Bible is my food to stay focused on what I know is the most important thing in my life. Just like personal development is the food that keeps you focused on your goals with coaching. Okay, and when I lose sight of, you know, on Saturday, when I was like, screw this, I do not want to be a part of anything Beachbody related right now. I just want to veg out and do nothing. I just want to go sit on my porch and fall asleep. That's it. I'm sick and tired. I'm worn out because I've been up so late, and I crashed on Saturday, and the mailman woke me up at 11 a.m. I slept through everything, and because I had been staying up till 2 and 3 in the morning, and I just wanted to do nothing. But then I picked up my book right there, started reading, and did some posts in my groups.
On leadership.
EntreLeadership. It's an awesome book. And, you know, it got me refocused and knowing that, you know what, it's not just me that's a part of this team. There's a lot of people that rely on me. There's a lot of people looking to me to help them. And if I let them down, what kind of person am I? What kind of coach am I if I just say, screw that, I don't want to be a part of their goals? And that's what that EntreLeadership sort of hit me in the face with a 2x4 on Saturday and got me refocused. And I think that is where so many coaches lose sight of their vision. Is they get so focused on the problem that they put on these blinders and say, here's what I'm struggling with, here's what I'm struggling with. It's sort of like that quote about, you know, look how big your rearview mirror is compared to your windshield. Okay, what's going on behind you is a lot smaller than what's in front of you. Okay, the problem you're experiencing now with your coaching business is real tiny compared to the dream that you have of what you want it to become. So you got to refocus, and personal development is the way to do that. And I cannot stress the importance of it enough. Starting your day with it, having it in the middle of your day, ending your day with it, just being focused, whatever form of personal development you want. It could be spiritual, it could be leadership, it could be, you know, I got all kinds of stuff on my shelf here. Permission Marketing by Seth Godin. 25 Ways to Win with People with John Maxwell. Phenomenal book. If you take a long time in the bathroom, take a book in there with you. Quit looking at your phone. Okay, that's a rule. That's a rule that I have. No phones in the bathroom. Only personal development.
Coach Bell, I'm a little upset that I didn't know you were struggling this week. As your success buddy, we should be reaching out to each other as well when we're having issues, at least for someone to lean on. We could bounce. I mean, on Saturday I struggled big time trying to get ahead of the game, and I just felt like I was never able to catch up, and it went all the way through Sunday. Sundays I usually go to the gym and network my business with gym members and get a little pump on my rest day, but I didn't do anything yesterday. I sat at home. I did a little bit of inviting and follow up, but the most of the day I just wanted to spend with my family because I was burnt from the week. But we need each other. That's what we're here for, to lean on each other when stuff gets hard, you know what I mean? And I'm hurt that I didn't reach out to you this week, and then also that I didn't know you were struggling also. We were both struggling at the same time, and we didn't even know it.
Success buddies are awesome system if you utilize it. All right, guys. Any other questions? You guys ready to get after it? Yeah? You could do it. Woo-woo. What?
What was that? What?
I think Allison Minnick officially patented the phrase woot, woot, woot. If you guys use it, you have to pay her royalties.
I'll stick with my West Coast yay yay.
Glad to pay that royalty.
Ice Cube. Oh, I love it. All right, guys. I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I know this is time out of your day, your families, and it shows me that you're the people that I want to be working with, because you see the bigger picture. You understand that being here, you understand that just applying what you learn here is gonna help you accomplish the vision that you have for your life and your families and your future. And I'm just thinking about the excitement that I have in the future of doing this full time and getting to share my passion. And it's an amazing blessing that we have an opportunity to take advantage of, to share a blessing like this with people. And I was talking to Greg about this, Greg Goals, a while back on our Getting Started Right call, just saying, like, you know what, I could be on calls all day long with potential customers, coaches. I could be, writing blog posts, creating YouTube videos. I could be doing that 12 hours a day, and it does not feel like work. That's how I know I have found what I want to do and where I want my focus to be and where I want my energy to be, is because none of it. This does not feel like work. I love talking to you guys and sharing with you guys what I've learned and answering your guys' questions and trying to make sure that you guys have what you need to succeed. It's not work to me. That's how I know I'm in the right place. So that's it. that's all I got. All right, guys.
Oh, Coach, I feel like we all want to make you so proud.
Well, it's my goal to make you guys. I want you guys to be wildly successful. That's if it doesn't happen for me, I know it will, just because of my perseverance and my goals. But honestly, that's not my focus. I want to see you guys. I know there's a couple people who want to earn $1,000 a week. They've expressed to me that that's their goal. I want to be laser focused on helping them get there. That's to be able to, for someone to quit their full-time job, that would mean so much to me, just as much as the guy who I helped lose 100 pounds. There's no amount of money that can touch that. And that's what's so cool about what we get to do, is we don't just make money. We're a part of something that's way, 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 way bigger than just making a lot of money. Yeah, you can make a lot of money, but how fulfilling is it that you get to help another team member create freedom and spend more time with their kids, or to spend more time with their spouse, or to have, fulfill a dream that they wanted to accomplish since they were a kid or something.
Yes.
That's the fun part and the huge opportunity that we have. So elevate others. We'll end the call with that. Hashtag elevate others. Go Facebook that. Hashtag elevate others. Hashtagging this one. All right, guys. Take care. We'll see you.
All right.